Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let me know if quickly if everything sounds okay and looks okay. Since this is a live stream and I don't have a professional setup here, I always have to go through everything to see if it sounds good, if it looks good. So quickly let me know. Yes, no, not. Hello, hi, yes, hello, hi. Yeah, I'm just looking randomly through the comments. Cool, man, everything is cool. Yeah, sounds good, all good, everything good, wonderful, fantastic, amazing. So, I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. I certainly am. Recently, I had this live stream a few days ago in which I reviewed Sergeant Lipham's conversion story, and I really just planned that because I recently talked about the conversion stories of people who didn't really have much to offer, like Doad Kim or this girl called the Wandering Quinn. So I thought I should look into a more serious case and should look into Sergeant Lipham, who is apparently a very hardcore fundamentalist Muslim, and I should see what his conversion story looks like and then deconstruct that instead of going after low-hanging fruit. But then I analyzed that, and it turned out to be very disappointing, very unfulfilling, because he didn't really have much to offer, which is very strange. After that happened, some people reached out to me and said, hey, there's this YouTuber that I like very much. His name is Aanghel. I have no idea how to pronounce it. If anyone knows that, please tell me in the comments. Aanghel, Aanghel. And he apparently converted to Islam a week ago or a few days ago. People told me about that, and I then thought, hey, why don't I look into this and respond to that instead? And just look at a recent case. Look at why somebody converts to Islam. And here is this guy. Here is his video. It says, I'm a Muslim now, my revert story. And the channel name is Aanghel. Tell me how that is pronounced. I don't know. I'm too uncultured for this sphere here. So I'll just refer to it as Angel, I guess. I don't know. I want to go through his story, analyze why he converted to Islam, see what motivates people. Erican Alpgane said it's pronounced like Angel. Greetings from Los Angeles. I guess I'll just go with Angel until somebody really is disturbed by my pronunciation and then corrects me by having a severe intervention. I don't know. It's just the name anyway, as somebody just pointed out. So today I will be doing that. I will be looking into that and see if this guy got the hikmah or not. Some people probably don't get the whole hikmah reference, but hikmah means wisdom in Islam. And that is something that recently became a joke because we looked at Sergeant Lipham and he was mentioning the word hikmah. Hikmah. These people don't have hikmah. The lack of hikmah deficiency. So yeah, I will go through that. First off, before I forget it, there was a super chat that somebody made yesterday because I scheduled this stream yesterday. That was very early. And before I start, I want to do that justice and respond to that quickly. Boda made a super chat of $5 and said, isn't tattoos haram, especially tattoos of other gods, which is what appears he has on his left arm. What is that? I don't know what it is that he has on his left arm. But yeah, it is haram. It is definitely haram. It is completely forbidden in Islam. But this guy was not a Muslim in the past, so he probably did whatever he wants. And now he can live the rest of his life as a Muslim with a tattoo. I don't know if he will want to remove that or not, but that's what it looks like. Okay, now quick note also, I am aware that Yasser Qadi made a response video in which he responded to Jay Smith and David Wood, and he also, people say he mentioned me, so I went there, but it turns out he didn't mention me. But what he did do is that apparently people assume that he talked about me while referring to me as an apostate, a murtad, whose life is miserable and who just has to prove that his life is now miserable by talking about Islam all the time. And I don't know. He didn't mention me by name, thereby again reaffirming how he loves to dehumanize and deny the existence of ex-Muslims. I don't even know if that deserves a response, but I will think about whether I want to actually spend time on doing that. It just goes to show what kinds of people serious Islamic scholars are, who really, an Islamic academic who sits there for 50 minutes simply ranting about how disgusting and awful and terrible other people are and how great he is. So whatever. I don't want to bother about that right now. Let's look into this guy, Aanghel. I want to say ahead, no offense, no. I do not intend to to insult this guy, insult this person who has converted to Islam. I'm really simply looking into why he converted and then just to comment on it. So without further ado, let us start. I see there are a lot of dear Muslim commenters in the comment section. I hope you enjoy the show too, everybody. Okay, let's go. Tell me if the sound of this is okay.
I'm a Muslim, y'all. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
It's been over a month. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's been over a month that I did my shahada. I've been low key, been reading.
He has a very low voice. It's very, I don't know if it can keep up with my voice here, but I can't do it louder. That's the problem. I can't do it louder. This guy is like that is as loud as it gets. I don't know. It's his sound is very low. His voice is very deep. I don't know how to get around this now. Damn, I didn't think this through. What the hell am I going to do now? Wait. I bet there's something I should be able to do here. Is there not? Come on, man. What the hell? Huh. Can you turn on captions? I can. Why does this guy have such a voice? I guess some people find it attractive. I don't know. I could make my own voice lower, thereby increasing the sound of the video of this stream in general. But let me see. Okay, give me a second. Give me 1 second. Oh, my voice is already. Okay, give me 1 second. Yeah, I made myself just a little bit lower if it helps in any way. I will follow the comments just so you can tell me if it works or not.
Been learning.
Okay.
I'm a Muslim, y'all. Alhamdulillah.
I'm a Muslim, y'all. Alhamdulillah.
It's been over a month. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's been over a month that I did my shahada. I've been low key, been reading, been learning, been researching, and just going through the journey by myself for a little bit, just because I feel like a lot of people are against this. A lot of people have preconceived notions, just like I did. Which, I mean, it is what it is. It's the world we live in. The media controls everything. But with this video, guys, I want to tell you what led me to Islam. I want to tell you why I chose it. I want to tell you what did I think before and what do I think now that I am a Muslim. And yeah, I'll tell you guys about a podcast that I'm about to make too, which I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's for everyone because it's going to be about Islam. It's going to be raw. It's going to be uncut. It's going to be something that not everyone will vibe with because I'm not filtering myself, and the two brothers that I'm making this podcast with, we are not filtering ourselves. So, like I said, not for everyone, but if you're down for that, you'll hear about it towards the end of the video.
So he's planning to make a podcast about video, Islam.
Just because I feel like a lot of people are against this. A lot of people, over a month that I did my shahada, I've been low key, been reading, been learning, been researching, and just going through the journey by myself for a little bit, just because I feel like I said.
Okay, so apparently he converted to Islam a month ago, and by his own admission, he researched and he thought it through, and he found out he was low key with his conversion to Islam. He researched. So depending on what he says here, he probably has something to offer, contrary to Sajid Libam recently, who didn't give us anything. I am aware Brutus Albion raised the volume on the played video. This is maximum sound. The guy's voice is very low, which is why there's nothing I can really do.
Not for everyone, but if you're down for that, you'll hear about it towards the end.
So the whole notion that the media is controlling everything and that thereby people have misunderstandings and prejudices about Islam is already a notion that is it borders on conspiracy theories. The media is not. I mean, if you want proof that the media is not manipulating people against Islam, then you can look into the fact that there are many media outlets in the West that work with people like Yasser Qadi, for example, with people who really believe in putting people to death for their disbelief, for rejecting Islam, for leaving Islam, or for homosexuality. People like that are not criticized. We are not taught by the media all the time how that Islam is extremely intolerant, that Islam has these very vile teachings and politics. The media is mostly very quiet about Islam, and the media is not this secret organization that tries to manipulate people behind the scenes. That is, as said, I get kind of conspiracy theory vibes here. But let's go.
I'm running it for free for the next 3 days. So if you haven't gotten it, now's a chance. Click the links in the description box down below. Make sure for the ebook on Amazon, change the .com to whatever it is in your region. So like if you're in India, I believe it's .in. So you would change it to that. Why did I choose Islam? Or more important.
Okay, so there is a lot of promotion of some education, some ebook, and some courses that he's apparently giving. This is exciting.
What led me to Islam? All right, so a little backstory.
Okay.
I was born into Catholicism, not like 100% practicing Catholicism, but Catholicism nonetheless. My mom was Catholic. My grandma was Catholic. I can't say my dad was Catholic. I think my dad didn't have any religion at the time, or if he did, it was kind of like a very loose form of Christianity, maybe even agnostic. So there was no set path. Because there was no set path, that's what kind of led to me wandering around for a lot of years before I came onto Islam.
So his grandmother were Catholic. Is this guy Hispanic? I think that's. I think so. I don't know. I'm not good at judging these things, but let me know.
All right. So I was born into that. My parents got divorced early. So my mom never forced us to practice Catholicism, but she was teaching us all about it. So like we kind of had that belief, which I'll get into that more in a second here, which if you're Muslim and you're watching this, you already know what I'm about to say, but
please don't
kind of had that belief, that inner belief in something. And you know, as the years passed by, my mom had gotten with some dude who was pretty much like a stepfather at the time. He was Christian, but he was a Christian.
People are asking, what is Catholicism? He's saying Catholicism, I believe. He's saying Catholicism. It sounds like he's just saying it in a very strange way. I think that's what he is saying. That's also what the captions are saying.
Christian, I should say, because his actions didn't line up with his words and his beliefs. Like, he believed in God, but dude abused me for like most of my childhood. And so, I mean, there's that. Now, I'm not saying I'm judging him, I'm judging Christianity or any of that stuff based on what he did. I'm just saying that like that led even more to me not having a solid foundation for as to like what I was, who I believe, or what I believed in, and just having a set path to walk on. And then from there, I remember my sister had a baby, passed away around like 6, 7, maybe 8 months old. And at that point, it's just like there had been so much that happened negatively in my life. I had been through all that abuse. I was just having such a hard time. Then that happened with my sister that it's like I just questioned. I questioned God. I questioned there even being God. I was, you know what, there's no way that there's a God if something like this happens, if I'm going through something like this, if other people are suffering and going through all these things. So I became atheist for, I want to say, maybe like 3-4 years. And the entire time I was atheist, like, yeah, I looked into science very strongly. And anytime someone tried to bring up God or would try to bring up religion or anything spiritual, I would shut them down and I would try to say all these things and try to prove that God wasn't real. I would try to prove that everything that they were believing in, everything that they were thinking of, everything that they were saying was just dumb, just not real.
Okay, I have to jump in somewhere. So there is a lot of we will probably see this in all these. I'm making a series of this now, by the way. I think I will talk about a lot of converts, look into their stories, comment on them, deconstruct them, and I will do that with no matter who it is. If you believe that there is a convert to Islam who has a very solid story and very solid arguments explaining why he converted to Islam, please send me references to that, and I will look into that right here live and analyze their stories and try to understand and explain what's going on. But what is quite common, I believe, in conversion stories, as we see here, is that he describes he had a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, abuse, dark things in the past that made him question everything. His sister's child died, and that made him question things, and that led him to this common popular conclusion that there can be no God if there is suffering in the world. If God allows children to suffer, babies to suffer, then God cannot be true. That is, as an atheist myself, I will say that is a very simplistic, a very simplistic conclusion to things. I know it may sound a little bit heartless, but it's a very simplistic conclusion of things. So insofar that doesn't really sound intellectually high and advanced to me. I do not know what kinds of atheist positions he defended and engaged in. I would like to try and find that out further, but I do not think that is a very advanced way of thinking about God and about morality and about things.
It was just retarded, for lack of better words. And I hate to say that, but I mean, that's the truth. That's what I did. And I was very miserable during the time that I was atheist. And I remember there were bits and pieces or bits and parts where I was with this girl and she was Christian, so she would always bring me to church. But it's like, I never vibed with it. I never really vibed with it. And then her and I, we ended up breaking things apart. It was like 2015. Then I ended up meeting my ex, which was my fiance. It's the one I was engaged to. She was Christian. Her family was very, very Christian. And her mother was literally a believer. Like, if you ever seen a believer, like, this is someone who's legit a believer. Right? She was very strong in her faith, and just being a part of that made me want to seek God and to go deeper into it. And
what's a legit believer? It's like, how do you define a legit believer?
At the time, which I completely forgot to say, but at the time I was starting to come back to God. I just didn't know what I was doing. I was on this new age thing where it's like consciousness, meditation, third eye, pineal gland, astrology, crystals, astral projection, all this stuff where it's like, yeah, I was seeking God, but I didn't have a set path. I was like wandering about in the dark, just lost, to be honest with you guys. So
I do not understand that at all. I mean, he just talked about how he was he found himself within atheism and in scientific positions, but now he's talking about how he started falling into.
But I didn't have a set path. I was like wandering about in the dark.
Crystals.
At the time, I was starting to come back to God. I just didn't know what I was doing. I was on this new age thing where it's like consciousness, meditation, third eye, pineal gland,
astrology, crystals, astral projection,
where it's like
all this extremely unscientific, pseudoscientific, to certain extents, extremely superstitious stuff that some would describe as very weird. So I don't exactly understand how that transition happened. How from atheism and this rigid science thinking and shutting down religious beliefs, how he reconciled New Age crystals and astral projection and astrology and all that stuff. How he reconciled those things. It's a little bit. It's like opposites. I don't know.
Yeah, I was seeking God, but I didn't have a set path. I was like wandering about in the dark, just lost, to be honest with you guys. So
what was that? Reality Check said next he's going to follow Katy Perry. Okay. I'm not here to make fun. Okay, I'm really not trying to make fun. I'm just funny. I just find it funny. Okay.
When I was with this girl, I was doing that. I was trying to seek. I was trying to do all these things, and I would say about 2016, 2017. That's when I I basically started going deeper into Christianity, and I even got baptized. I was reading the Bible. I was going real deep into it, but there were so many contradictions that I was finding. And if y'all want to know about the contradictions, by all means, wait till the end of the video. I'll get into that. We just wait until the end of the video.
Oh,
There were
at the end of the video, there will be contradictions about the Bible.
Things that just left more questions than answers, and it wasn't clear cut. It wasn't logical. It was just a lot of stories, which I don't mind the stories, but it's like it's something that you had to interpret for yourself. And I feel like if something is going to show you the way, if something is going to show you a set path, there really shouldn't be that much room for interpretation, but more so a clear cut, raw, like, hey, this is it. Go ahead. Like, that's the path right there. This is all you have to do. A clear cut instruction manual.
Why? Well, why does one have that expectation of a religion or of an ideology, of a way of living? Why would you expect that that in order to be valid, to be good, to be applicable, to be followable, a religion or an ideology should have a very rigid and clear set of do's and don'ts that define every step of your life? Why would you expect that from an idea? Why would you expect that from a belief? That would kind of, I mean, that kind of looks like you're denying yourself and society the characteristics which make each individual unique. You want everyone to follow the same system. You want everyone to follow the same set of actions and beliefs and words and strategies. Everyone should be the same. That doesn't really sound very sophisticated. It doesn't sound very realistic. It sounds very unrealistic. And I kind of get how he finds himself in Islam eventually, because that is basically Islam. Islam is the only religion ever out there that has so much control over your life, and that tells you for every single thing that you do throughout every single day to do it a certain way. Islam is the only religion that does that. But it's kind of weird. Why would you do that? Humans are not like this. We are not robots. We are not animals. We are. I mean, we are not less intelligent animals. We're not beings that are supposed to simply be used for specific purposes. We are intelligent, rational beings and humans who think, who develop philosophy, who figure out right and wrong, who develop ideas. It is kind of strange that you want to be controlled. This kind of looks like to me he is looking for something to control his life, to get his stuff together.
If you have a bed frame for IKEA and you're trying to build this bed frame, you want the instruction manual to be as clear as possible. You don't want the instruction manual to say, hey, grab this screw and you know what, just figure out where you're going to put it.
Dude, you're not a bed, you're a human. You are not a bed. You are not a bed. You're not a piece of furniture. You're a human. You're an intelligent human being. An intelligent human being who is in this world, who can find so many different ideas, who can explore the world, who can explore. If you lived for 500 years, you could explore different ideas and learn new things throughout those 500 years. You are not a piece of furniture. You're not something that is that needs instructions. That's like the opposite of what I seek in life.
Just have fun. Go and figure it out. Like, you don't want that. If you have an instruction manual, you want it to be clear, concise, precise. You want it to be clear cut, just cutthroat, to the point. You know what I mean? So it's like the Bible wasn't that for me. And like I said, it kept bringing up more questions than answer. And I'm not knocking it, all right? Because who am I to tell someone that what they're believing is right or wrong?
So what the Bible does is, I guess this is what he means. What the Bible does is that it tells you the origin and the history of things, and it tells you this is what happened, this is what is happening now, and this is what is going to happen. This is why there are problems. This is what the solution is, and this is what will happen if you follow or disregard the solution. It doesn't give you specific, clear instructions on how to live your life. It simply gives you values instead of giving you direct, specific examples of how to do this and how to do that. Instead of giving you clear instructions, it is giving you the sentiment, the value of how to how to live and what to be like. In Christianity, it is, for example, very important for Christians to be Christ-like. This is a term, to be like Jesus, to be, to follow his moral example, to follow the values that were presented by him, instead of following a certain set of rigid instructions, as it is in Islam, for example. And apparently he's looking for those rigid instructions.
Of course.
Ryan Jones made a super chat of $279 Canadian and said, AP, love the content, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Mickey Esu made a super chat of $20. I still don't know what that is. And said, Muslim conversion bingo. Jesus as God never made sense to me. Awkward mention of reversion. Always believed in a God as a child. Found out Islam was misrepresented by the media. I read the Quran. It made sense to me, etc. Seriously, the last two conversion stories basically went like that. I am very hopeless about the future of this series. Okay, I'll go on. I'll read the others later.
Was that opinion might change the deeper that I get into Islam, but I strongly believe that God guides who He wills, and if the only way to reach you,
did he just say what I think?
Islam. You know what I mean? So it's like the Bible wasn't that for me, and like I said, it kept bringing up more questions than answer. And I'm not knocking it, all right? Because who am I to tell someone that what they're believing is right or wrong? Now, of course, that opinion might change the deeper that I get into Islam, but I strongly believe that God guides who He wills.
That's a good sentiment. See, that's a good sentiment. I appreciate that. That is a good this is something that you rarely hear from people who have converted and who have gone too deep. I hope he doesn't go too deep down the rabbit hole. Can you use it in a negative sense? I don't know. But so he still leaves things open, and he could change his mind as he progresses, as he goes into Islam, as he learns about Islam, and he might change his mind on how he judges religion and truth and false. And I hope he sticks to being intellectually honest. I mean, that sounds good, right?
And if the only way to reach you is through Christianity, or if the only way to reach you is through Buddhism or even the New Age stuff, Hinduism, whatever it is, then that's how He'll do it. That's how God will guide you.
Whoa. That is I really wonder how a fundamentalist Muslim would react to this, but this is highly blasphemous speech here. This is something that is unacceptable. This is pure blasphemy. You cannot say this stuff, man. You cannot say this. If you think like this, dear Aanghel, I believe if you really think like this, then you will find out that Islam is a huge disappointment. You cannot, as a Muslim, you cannot believe that if God wants to guide you, then He will guide you through other means, through Christianity, through Hinduism, through Buddhism, through New Age thinking, and this and that. That's not how it works. In Islam, in fact, it would be funny if I brought out the exact Quran verse. In Islam, it is a very strict, rigid rule and teaching that the only religion you can believe in is Islam. Those who seek a different religion than Islam. In the Quran, there is a Quran verse which says exactly that, and it is right here. Let me show you that. It says in Quran chapter 3, verse 85, and whoever desires other than Islam as a religion, never will it be accepted from him, and he in the hereafter will be among the losers. So what the Quran is telling you here is, if you dare to choose for yourself a religion other than Islam, then you will be punished. You will be punished. How shall Allah guide the people who disbelieved after they believed and had witnessed that the messenger is true and clear signs had come to them? And Allah does not guide the wrongdoing people. So in Islam, this is a very strict teaching that if you choose any religion other than Islam, then that means your religion is wrong, and you will, as the Quran says here, abide in hell eternally. There is no other path. Islam is the only answer according to Islam, and Islam is here to be superior above every other religion. It is supposed to prevail and be victorious over every other religion that exists out there. No other religion is accepted. Another Quran verse, I think, says that no other religion is accepted by Allah except Islam. But yeah, you get the point.
Technically the right way, well, maybe not. I can't fully speak on that yet because my knowledge is limited. I'm still very new to this, but
it will change.
To keep going with the story, I kept going into that, and I remember her and I split beginning of 2018, and during that time I dropped the Bible, I dropped Christianity, and I pretty much became agnostic, where it's like I believed in God, but I didn't really go much further than that. I stopped all the spiritual practices. I stopped really trying to do all that new age stuff. Like the only thing I really kept was meditation, and that's pretty much it. Right, that's pretty much it. But fast forward to 2019, I'm over here living with my two best friends at the time. And it's like, I had everything. Material-wise, I had everything. Social-wise, I had that. I was talking to girls. Nothing serious, but I was talking to girls. Like I said, I was talking to girls. I was ready for some sugar walls. It just didn't end up happening. But I was talking to girls. Like everything, I had everything that I could want at that point. But it's like, I still felt empty. I still felt pretty trash, to be honest with you guys. I still felt like I was looking for distractions anywhere that I could find them. And a part of me came on to...
That's probably because you were thinking that you are supposed to do something else. That you are thinking that you are supposed to find a meaning in life that is beyond... I don't know, you are deliberately looking for something, and you will not find that with Islam. Believe me, you will not find that with Islam. It is always the same story. It is always the same sentiment. You do things, you have fun, you engage in activities that feel fulfilling to you, that feel good to you, that you enjoy, that you find pleasure in, but you feel like, oh, there is something missing. This can't be it. There must be more than this. And you want to go out and find what is more, and then you end up finding Islam, and Islam ends up to be this system which has a very tight grip over your life and tells you what exactly you can and can't do, and you think, okay, this is it, I'm here. But what you're doing actually is when you put on Islam, you confine yourself in this tiny little place where it leaves you no room to explore the world anymore, and you're basically giving yourself up and submitting yourself to this rigid, strict, tight system which has you in its grips, which will not let you go anymore. And as a result, you will not have found meaning in life. You will have given up any desire to find meaning in life and submitted yourself to Islam, and you will have tricked yourself into thinking that you have indeed found the meaning of life, because you have eliminated all of your desires. You have eliminated everything that you actually value and enjoy about this world. And that certainly is not the meaning of life. That certainly is not how it should go. I mean, just the fact that he was apparently meditating in times where he was simply trying to live his life shows that he was trying to take care of himself spiritually. People want to meditate because people want to detach themselves a little bit from all the worries and all the stuff that is constantly going on in their lives, and they want to simply just for a brief moment, for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes, turn off all their responsibilities, all their desires and everything that they have. Just take a break, just focus on nothing, on your breath, and just turn off, because you get tired from existence. And you need that, you find pleasure in that. But if you now turn to Islam, then you kill all those desires forever, and you kill everything that matters to you forever. And that definitely is not the meaning that you are looking for in life. Don't go there, man.
Well, not a part of me, but I had stumbled onto Dopamine Detox, and when I had first done Dopamine Detox, I remember very clearly that I was being almost like drawn to it, like something was telling me to read the Quran. And I've never read the Quran, but I had a Quran. I had a Quran and I had a Bible, because I had some kind of bookshelf in my room. It was silly to even think about that, but I literally had them just for display, with this Arabic knife and these crystals and these plants.
Okay, so people were pointing out that he's very much into these into exotic things. That's what it looks like, and this just confirms it. So he was just having the Quran and this Arabic knife and crystals for display, not because he was actually interested in studying them. And yeah, he's interested in exotic things. It's always the same sentiment. He just mentioned dopamine detox, which is interesting. I could talk about that lengthily, but I want to listen to what he says about it.
Stupid. I was stupid. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. All right. So I started feeling pulled to read the Quran. I do not read it because I was ignorant at the time. I was closed off. I did not want to. And I remember that just kept going. I kept feeling that over and over and over and over and over again, but I just kept disregarding it and doing my martial arts and doing my work because I was real headstrong and just focused on what I was doing this whole dopamine detox for, which if you watch my videos, that's what I said. I said that I was doing it for martial arts and for my work to become more obsessed with martial arts. But here I am being pulled in this direction.
So dopamine detox is a practice. This guy is apparently, he makes videos on personal development, personal motivation, letting go of addictions, dealing with a masturbation addiction, a NoFap campaign, and talking about dopamine and things like that. The thing is that he engages apparently in a practice called dopamine detox, which is dopamine is a chemical that you have in your brain. It's often misunderstood what dopamine actually is. Dopamine is not a pleasure chemical. It's not a chemical that makes you feel pleasure, that makes you feel happy, or that you get when you do something that you really like. What dopamine actually is a chemical that that makes you want things, that makes you want something, that makes you desire something. So a fine example is people who play video games very frequently know this. They are aware of this. When you play a video game, you have this thing that you want to stop playing, but you can't stop yourself. You want to keep playing. And what has actually happened, and you can keep playing then for 2 hours. And after you are done with that 2 hours of playing, you don't actually feel better. You don't feel very satisfied and pleased. You actually feel very drained and just bad. You feel terrible because what makes you keep playing is dopamine, because your brain keeps thinking that you want to play. You want to play because you will get something in return. You will achieve something. You will do something, and you want to keep achieving that thing, keep doing that thing without actually getting any reward from it or getting any pleasure from it. That's what dopamine is about. It's a very essential chemical. It gives us the ability to have goals in life, to achieve things in life, to have to work, to compete with others, to aim for specific things. That's what dopamine is about, and it will always exist. It will always be there. It will always and I know some people will disagree with me because some people are really obsessed with this, and they consider this a very important matter to themselves personally. But a dopamine detox is actually not something that is scientifically supported. There is no scientific evidence, no scientific support that a dopamine detox actually does anything good for you, or that it actually helps you. A dopamine detox is when, for example, for a few days or for a long amount of days, you shut down everything that you want to do, everything that you enjoy, and you just start fasting. You don't look at electronics, you don't look at sexual stuff, or you don't do things that you desire, that you really want, and you just put it all away in hopes that you will gain more self-control and more focus. The issue is that this is a very unscientific approach and unscientific understanding of how dopamine actually works. And there are actually many scientific perspectives which prove or assert that a dopamine detox could actually be bad for you, because deprive yourself of certain things that you want to do in hopes that you will stop wanting those things and you will get better over time. You will have more focus over time, but eventually you stop that fasting and you get back to doing those things. And when you get back to doing those things, you will have quit and then again started doing things that you thought were bad for your focus. What it eventually does is that your brain gets used to taking a break from something that your brain finds very desirable, and then to suddenly get back and consume that thing again. As a result, your brain simply just ends up wanting more of that specific stuff. So you could actually get more addicted to whatever you are suffering from. Yeah. Sorry, this is completely besides the topic, but yeah. So he's very interested in self control, in focus, in different motivational self development means of getting his stuff together, and I can relate to that. I understand that completely, but I really wonder where Islam will get in with it. I can already kind of I can already see it, but yeah.
So to end that part, yes, I kept being pulled, didn't go to it, didn't read it. So then I got into surgery in 2020 in the summertime, ended up coming back from New York because that's where I got the surgery. And again, I started feeling really, really low, like really down, depressed, anxious. I don't even want to get deeper into that, but I decided I was going to do dopamine detox again. And the first day that I was doing it, I was sitting in this exact room right there on the ground, and I started feeling that same feeling that I felt the first time that I did a dopamine detox, which was to read the Quran. And I didn't read it. I was, I'm doing dopamine detox. I'm not going to read it. Second day, even stronger. And I was contemplating. I was like, should I read it? Should I not read it? Third day, so strong that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to read it. It's a spiritual, holy book. It's not going to be that bad for dopamine detox purposes. And I tell y'all, like, once I started reading this, I want to say like the third day in. So 6 days later of doing the dopamine detox, 3 days later of reading the Quran. I remember after reading it the third time on the 6th day, I sat down to meditate after, and it all clicked. Like it just all clicked. And I just understood. And it's like, to put it in the most simple words possible, it's as if I had found what I was looking for.
What exactly? How did it click? What did you find? I mean, isn't this just part of all those different solutions that you looked for in your life? All those new age solutions, all those crystal solutions, all those astrology solutions and travel solutions, whatever it is. The difference is that with Islam, you can't just test it and can't just look at it and display it. No, you will actually get sucked into it very bad. And what did click? I mean, I'm really interested in finding out what it was that convinced him about it. I seriously hope that we will not come to the same conclusion again, that it was simply emotional.
And I'm not trying to hype it up, but I felt these waves going through my body, and like I've never felt anything like that. Like, listen, I've done shrooms, I've done acid, I've done coke, I've done ecstasy, I've done Molly. I know they're pretty much the same thing, but I've done them. I've done alcohol, I've done weed, I've done so many things in my life, and
I didn't think we were going to talk about this.
nothing has ever made me feel what I felt in that exact moment when I had these waves rushing through my body. And I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, yeah, you're going to feel the same thing once you stumble onto the truth or once you find the path. But it's like, for me,
exactly, because he thinks that that God probably has different means of guiding people. I didn't expect the whole background with the drugs. I did mushrooms and ecstasy and weed and alcohol and speed. And I'm sorry, I have a different experience with this because I was also a Muslim, and I was a very spiritual Muslim. And when I was a very spiritual Muslim, I felt very much in love with it, and I felt very high on that belief until the hype was over. When I started realizing, when I started getting real again, and confronting my religion more rationally, because that emotional thing, I'm sorry to disappoint you, dear Aanghel, but that emotional phase will subside, and then you will start having to deal with the rational and logical, theological aspect of Islam. But I have to say that mushrooms definitely made me feel more at peace than Islam. So I haven't done any of those things in a long time. I'm not doing them anymore. So yeah.
I can only speak for me. I can only speak for myself. And that's what led me to Islam. That's why I chose Islam. That's why I accepted Islam. And
come on. So this is it. It's emotional.
I believe that it was in that moment that I did become a Muslim.
No. So I'm back. Okay. So let's recap that. He took many drugs in the past. He did many things in the past. He had many different experiences, many different spiritual, New Age, religion experiences. And what eventually happened is that he sat down and he read the Quran for 3 days. He says, I don't know how much he read in 3 days. And he started feeling these waves going through his body. And he started feeling very, very good about that and very high about it. And that was when he thought, okay, I'm a Muslim. Why? Why, man? Why?
Now, what did I think before? Before I got into Islam, I had these preconceived notions that, for one,
Yusha Zaidi said emotion is overrated. Sojkovic said submit, resistance is futile. Reality check said, what's he looking at? New Personal said anxiety trouble. Yes, I actually have anxiety trouble because of what we're dealing with right now. I can't believe that this is actually a common narrative here. Oh, man, please, people. Varun made a super chat and said, male power, ready for street fight, muscles. Islam attracts these hairy types, tough fella characters, no t-shirt, tough finger pointing at you types. I don't know. I don't really care that much about masculinity, so I can't really. I'm not a very masculine person. God, I believe I bet this will be cut out by some people again. Varun made a super chat again of $5 and said, I had so much freedom I could not handle, so I tied my hands. Sojkovic made a super chat of 500 Czech krones and said, if you can split the Quran in two, therefore you are the real final prophet. Hope baby's fine. We need more prophets. Send my greetings to your labradoodle. Woof. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will. Thank you. Okay, I'll go on for now.
Islam was only for Arabs, which is retarded.
What?
Islam is for everyone.
Dude, you can't say
Arabs. For one, Islam was only for Arabs, which is retarded.
Close your
Islam is for everyone. It's just a preconceived notion. These are things that I was thinking about. Number two,
he thought that Islam was only for Arabs. Arabs. That's a very shallow understanding of Islam, which he had beforehand. I understand, but
I thought that it was something very oppressive. But the more you read into it,
it is.
The more you see for yourself that it's actually not oppressive.
It is.
And then number three,
it is. How did you come to the conclusion that it is not oppressive? What is your understanding of oppressive? I'm sorry, Angela, I don't want to yell at you, but seriously, what is your understanding and your definition of oppressive? And how did you conclude that Islam is actually not oppressive and that is only a prejudice, only a misconception? Because as far as the definition of oppression is concerned, Islam would, of course, never describe itself as oppressive, just like no oppressor does. But Islam is oppressive by all the standards that we have. Islam oppresses women. Islam oppresses people like me who leave their religion. Dear Angel, here is a secret for you if you do not know this yet. Leaving Islam is punished with death. And all these Muslim apologists online will agree with that. It is punished with death. Muhammad himself, according to the most authentic reports, said, those who leave their religion, kill them. And this was applied in Islamic history forever. It is still applied in many states today, in many Islamic states today. Criticizing Islam, questioning Islam is forbidden. It is haram. Women have to cover up so that they are not seen as free women in society. They can be beaten by their husbands. Slavery is a thing. Other religions are prompted to convert to Islam. If they do not convert to Islam, then they are told to become subjects of Islam and pay protection money to the Islamic government, and their religion will be subjugated by Islam. They will not have the same standards as Muslims in the country. And if those non-Muslims, if those different religions reject both of these things, then they will eventually be attacked. And if they are defeated, then they will be enslaved. And that slavery includes sex slavery. So I don't know what your definition of oppression is. Let's completely leave aside the fact that Islam has a completely strict grip on your entire life and every moment that you have. But Islam is definitely oppressive. And believe me, if you want to stay intellectually consistent and intellectually honest, you will find that. You know how you will not find that, how you will not conclude that there is something wrong with Islam. If you only listen to the advocates of Islam and only align with them and only accept their point of view and don't listen to the critics, then you will conclude that Islam is good, although it is oppressive. But maybe that should tell you something too. Muslim defenders, Muslim apologists hate critics like me and hate ex-Muslims like me. They don't want you to interact like me. If they hate the critics and the criticism so much, maybe there is something there which you should look at. Please look at it. Please do it. Please look at it. New person has said, your fans aren't your friends. They only look for something to fan their hatred. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. To me, my fans are my friends. To me, my fans aren't even my fans. People who subscribe to this channel, who follow this channel because they find something interesting. People make connections because they have common interests. They like something that somebody else says. They like to associate with people for different reasons. It's all that. I don't care. You cannot come here and cause division among people because you want to defend your Islamic religion, according to which all disbelievers are one and all Muslims are one, and you should not befriend us. Sorry, you can go somewhere else to do that. Quickly, super chat. Rajat Bardwaj said, people who find life hard end up believing in Islam. It sort of takes away the burden from you to see your brains and not fight strongly against life's hardships. Exactly. Let's keep going.
So that it's actually not oppressive. And then number 3, I thought it was very extreme. I thought that the people who practice this stuff were, the people who they show on the media doing all this crazy stuff.
They don't even show on the media the people who Islam really who really represent Islam. Dear Aanghel, look for the most popular Muslim apologists online. Please, I am not even telling you names. Look for the most popular Muslim apologists online. Listen to them and tell me again if you think they are extreme or not. If you think they're not extreme, then tell me what your definition of extreme is.
And it's like, dude, that's not it at all. Like, these people are extremists. They have that extreme nature. They're thinking in a way and they're taking it out of context and doing things under the name of Islam, under the name of the Quran. But it's like, that shouldn't be the factor as to like, okay, this is what Islam is. It's these people right here, which that's what the media portrays.
With all due respect, I don't think you should make that conclusion without having studied and without understanding Islam. I mean, he just said that he doesn't yet know, he doesn't yet understand Islam. He converted 1 month ago because of emotional reasons, and he wants to understand the religion further and study it further. So given the current ignorance, which is not his fault, I don't think that he's in a position to judge who the real Muslims are and who misrepresent Islam. But if you want to stay intellectually honest and consistent, you will find that you will be disappointed about this.
It portrays that like these people that are bombing, that are doing all this stuff, those are the ones that Islam creates. That's what Islam is. But that's not what Islam is. Like I said, these are people who are extreme. That's them.
I said something recently that I want to reiterate again. I don't even care about the backlash. there are Islamic terrorists, and what sets Islamic terrorists aside from radical from the popular Muslim apologists who are quite popular in YouTube and who push fundamentalist Islamic talking points, what sets those Islamic terrorists aside and what makes them very different and very hated and very extreme is the fact that they employ the method of terrorism, that they go into society and kill average regular people, that they bomb people, that they kill innocent people, that they shoot around. Terrorism, the act of terrorism. This is what puts them aside, what makes them different from the average fundamentalist Muslim. But beyond that, I'm sorry, but the most popular Muslim apologists, the most popular fundamentalist Muslim apologists and scholars believe in very similar things. They don't believe that they should be going around and shooting and bombing people in the streets of Western nations and of the Islamic world. But they do believe that without that, people should convert to Islam in masses, and then we should establish an Islamic state which will be imposed on everybody, under which everyone has to obey Islam, in which Islamic authoritarianism rules, in which I will be executed. For your knowledge, dear Angel. I mean, just think about the fact I'm talking here to you, and all I'm doing is simply approaching this thing reasonably as much as I can, and listening to you and giving counter arguments and reasoning. But according to Islam, I'm supposed to be executed under an Islamic in an Islamic country. Just think about it. Really, just think about it.
It's like when you have Christianity and you have the KKK.
Oh. Is he going to say the Crusades next, please?
Like, well, you don't say that everyone who's Christian is like these people. These people were just extremists, and they took it out of context.
Man, how many members does the KKK have? I can't even find the information. There are probably like 5 people. How many people are still part of the KKK? How many people were ever part of the KKK? How many people did the KKK ever represent? Do you know that the KKK actually has a book that is called the Quran? Derived from the word for the Quran, the Quran, for the Ku Klux Klan has the Quran. The KKK is a political organization that was relevant among a very fringe people, and that was built on the idea of racism that has never even represented more than 1% or maybe 0.5% of Christians. You are equating that to Islamic terrorism and Islamic radicalism, which we hear about every day all across the world, which represents masses of numbers in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, everywhere around the world. How can you possibly compare that to the KKK? I'm sorry, you're not really thinking this through. I'm really trying to react calm to this, okay? But hey, this is a completely false comparison. This is ludicrous. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Seriously. That's not how it works. You could compare the KKK to some unknown specific Muslim terrorist organization somewhere in some country. But you can't compare that to Islamic radicalism or Islamic terrorism in general. It's worlds apart. And you know about the KKK because it's in America, because everyone knows about America. Everyone knows about American culture because of movies, because of TV, and so on. Man, please.
And that's the same thing with everything that's happening in today's day and age, except the media has a hidden message. And I'll probably get flagged. This video might be put down for that. But I'm gonna say what it is. All right. That's what I thought about this. I thought that this wasn't it. I thought that this was just another religion. But as soon as I got into it, man, it's definitely not it. And the last thing that I want to say is that this thing right here, this holy book, is logical. And it's not this thick. This is a transliteration and a translation, so it's probably like double the size of an original Quran. But it's logical. It's logical. It's clear cut. It's like I said, you have an instruction manual and it tells you exactly what to do. There's no room for interpretation. There's no room for guessing. It's not read between the lines. It's no, this is exactly what it is. It's clear and cut. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, like, I find that to be priceless. I find that to be the only determining factor of like.
I have to tell you, the short comment about the media aside, I would really like to hear what is logical about the Quran, but I guess we have 2 minutes left in this video, and there will not come any resolution to that. So again, we will be disappointed hearing no reasoning on why the Quran is logical. But hey, the Quran is not logical. The Quran is not logically fantastic. It's not logically impressive. It contradicts itself. It has it gets many facts about humanity, about history wrong. It gets many facts about science wrong. It makes many assertions that are simply unfounded, makes many claims that are logically inconclusive or simply wrong. There is nothing logical in it, and you cannot conclude after reading the Quran for 3 days that this is very logical. I mean, this is not how religion should work. This is not how conversion should work. There is no logic to it. And if you want to find a guide to life, the guide to how to live your life is not even in the Quran. It doesn't really describe how to live your life. But you will find, if you look into the hadith on Muhammad's example, you will find specific explanations on how to do each and every action in your life, and that is a little bit ludicrous. But the Quran is neither logical nor does it give you certain instructions on how to live your life. That's not really true.
Should you take this path? Should you not take this path? But then again, that's just me. That is just me. I'm just saying, yeah. But to end the video off, if you have watched this far, you're either 1, a Muslim, or 2, you generally like the content that I put out, and you actually want to hear what I have to say. So either the 2, if you've made it this far, then what I'm doing with 2 of my brothers, they're not blood brothers, but they are brothers in faith.
Or I just want to watch it through and understand what the hell happened to you. Just kidding. I want to understand where you're coming from. Okay. I really want to be. I'm really genuinely interested.
We're making a podcast all about Islam. We're going to be talking about all the details. We're going to be going in depth, like why Islam logically. We're going to be talking about haram, halal. We're going to be going in depth as to like why things are haram, because like that's something that I didn't understand from a non-Muslim point of view when I wasn't a believer.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, someone said he was supposed to talk about contradictions in the Bible. Yeah, did he forget that? I don't know.
I didn't understand why there were these things that were haram, like music, for instance. Why is music haram? We're going to get into that.
He knows about that?
Right? But again, it's a very clear-cut and raw podcast.
I let him finish.
There's no filtering. We're just talking straight up. We're recording our conversations and we're putting them up there. All right, so if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. I will be announcing it throughout the next few weeks. I'll be announcing little things here and there, and then I want to say in like 2-3 weeks, that's when the actual channel is going to drop, and we're going to have it on iTunes, Spotify, I believe, just all the platforms, because we're going to have the visual and we're also going to have the audio as well. So if that's something you're interested in, like I said, just stay tuned for it. It's coming. It is coming. But with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day, and
stay away from this.
I hope the video might have helped, at least in one way, shape, or form. But enjoy the rest of your day, and remember that the time is now.
And stay away from Islam. Okay.
Oceans that.
So he is planning a podcast in which he will apparently, together with a brother, in faith, sit together and discuss Islam and discuss discuss certain things about Islam, controversial questions about Islam, whether Islam is logical or true or not, and why it is logical, why Islam has a lot of discipline issues and all that. By the way, St. Miles keeps saying, please don't forget to like the video. So please, everybody, please like the video, and let's make sure that we show dear Aanghel this video so that he can see this and see some criticism of his approach, where we are coming from. I would also love to interact with him on this issue. He seems like a genuine guy, as far as I can see. He seems like somebody who's genuinely seeking, who's genuinely trying to find. I also don't want to be too. I also don't want to sound condescending or be condescending here. That's not at all my point and my purpose. But what makes me wonder is, why would you make a podcast on clarifying certain matters within Islam when you have only converted to Islam 1 month ago, and you yourself have not properly read and studied the Quran and studied Islam? Just reading the Quran will take longer for you than that. And learning more about Islam, learning more about the Hadith, more about Islamic theology in general will take you much, much longer than that. So I do not think that, I think that maybe the podcast is beneficial. Maybe with the podcast, he will actually sit down and genuinely, honestly, intellectually, honestly ask questions, comment on things, genuinely explore things, genuinely explore Islam, instead of just trying to come to the conclusion that it is true and that it is good. Maybe he will do that. And if he does do that, I appreciate that. And I would be interested to have a look, actually. But I would always suggest first studying and understanding Islam further without going into it like this. Seriously. Yeah. So the conclusion is that Aanghel converted to Islam because he was looking for a meaning in his life. He couldn't find that meaning within other beliefs and thoughts and ideologies. He explored many different paths, many different methods to manage his life and to get his stuff together, and eventually found himself liking Islam because he was emotionally he felt an emotional rush when he read the Quran. I felt that emotional rush when I converted. Not when I converted. When I decided to actually become religious and to practice Islam. But that emotional rush eventually went away and left me confronted with the theological aspects of Islam. It happens to everybody. People who convert to Christianity get this emotional rush. People who do other things in life get this rush. That rush doesn't really mean anything. That rush simply means that your brain, if we're talking about dopamine, you should probably understand that your brain, that your mind simply finds something there that sounds and feels good. What it does not mean is that this is the truth. That should be up to actually further looking into the theology, the scripture, the logic of things, and then figuring out whether it really makes sense or not. And hey, seriously, if dear Aanghel here wants to explore Islam further, if he wants to interact with people, not only with advocates of Islam and believers of Islam, but also ex-believers and critics of Islam, I would love to have an interaction with him. I would love to have a discussion with him. I would love to join him in a conversation. I would love for him to join me in a conversation and to discuss Islam, discuss his impression of it, and tell him what I think and what I know about it. And if he's interested in that, that would be fantastic. That would be great, right? So here's my invitation out to him. I would love to discuss Islam with him. I'm waiting for that to happen. If he doesn't want to do that, I wish him all the best. I just wish that he actually explores and tries to understand Islam without letting his emotions and the propaganda without letting them get the better of him. That's what I would say. So motivation of conversion, emotional, no logic, as far as we can see. I will move on to analyze someone else's conversion story hopefully next week. someone whom Muslims have recommended to me and said, hey, this guy actually has very good reasons to convert to Islam. Look into that and you will be crushed. So, so I will look into that conversion story and analyze that. I think he's like Pondering something is that guy's name. I don't know. I will look into that. I want to be completely honest here with everybody. Okay. I will read some of your comments and super chats. Thank you, everybody, for joining, by the way, and thanks for listening. Thanks for recommending this and appreciating this. Let's see. Shiku Nilo said, AP is addicted to porn, guys. Anyone who has ever done a dopamine detox has felt amazing. Stick to Islam, AP. Don't think your knowledge transfers. Shut up. I mean, if it helps you, I guess do it. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that the science side does not really support it as far as it goes. And you see that people relapse all the time. I mean, seriously, come on, man. Susan F. Lorito Schindler made a super chat. Thank you so much, of $5, and said, love AP. Truckers listen on the road. Oh, nice. Thank you. Rallers made a super chat of 200 Swedish krona and said, hi AP, do you have any video where you react to Leslie Hazelton's TED Talks and video about Aisha? She seems to be this typical older liberal SJW woman who in many stances keeps defending Islam. Wish you a nice weekend. I actually have a book of her where she writes about the biography of Muhammad. It's called The First Muslim. I have it right here. It's on the floor. That's how organized I am. I tried to read a little bit of that book. It looked quite reasonable because she's kind of analyzing Muhammad as a regular person, as a human, rather than as a prophet, and also, also kind of criticizing him and exposing his human and his natural side and his desires and flaws and all that. Although she's not really being very honest about it to the fullest, I would say. But I think I saw bits of that TED Talk, but I could have a look at that again. It's just whatever. Yeah, thank you. Faithful Dune. How do you say that? Made a super chat of $30 and said it was narrated from Ubay ibn Ka'b that a man boasted in an ignorant manner of his tribal lineage, so he told him to bite his father's male member, and he did not use a metaphor. Yeah, that's a narration that I am aware of. I wanted to bring that up sometimes, but I just find it kind of disgusting to talk about. But yeah, that's it. You see from some Islamic narrations that it was quite common for the Muslim believers and followers to insult people and their parents and their gods in sexual ways, as has also been presented by a popular Muslim apologist quite recently. Thank you, Faithful. Gerardo Cantu made a super chat and said someone should have gifted him a Jordan Peterson book, $5. Thank you so much. Yeah, I have personally never listened to Jordan Peterson's motivational books and speeches, only a little bit. I was more interested in his whole philosophy, psychology talks without getting the whole be motivated part. But yeah, I heard it helps people. Dennis Chu, much respect to Jordan Peterson, by the way. Dennis Chu made a super chat of 100 Indian rupee. Is that what it's called? He was supposed to talk about contradiction in the Bible. Yes, yeah, yes, yeah. I forgot again. He said that he said we should wait for the end of the video, in which he will probably talk about contradictions in the Bible. But maybe he meant that at the end of the video he will announce that he's going to do a podcast, and maybe in that podcast, which is supposed to be about Islam, he's going to talk about contradictions in the Bible. I'm excited. Ex Born Again made a super chat and said, keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Not a Chump said, say it in his voice. You mean Jordan Peterson's voice? Is that what this is about? Jordan Peterson? I can't really do his voice. Like it depends on how you define God. Yeah. Jordan Peterson. I hope he's doing better. I think he had a lot of problems recently. Kajran M said David Wood talks about that story a lot, but surely he is a total psychopath. Oh yeah, about the whole male member sucking thing. Yeah, David we can freely talk about whatever he wants. He has no limits. Jihadi Tears said, Apostate Prophet, hey AP, can I have a shout out? I'm an ex-Muslim YouTuber who talks about Islam. Love your videos. So shout out to Jihadi Tears then. Thank you. I appreciate it. Jalard82 said, hey, that was good. Gerard Perry said, haha, close. Really? Yeah, okay. If I try to do it again, I'll probably mess it up. I don't know. He has a very distinct voice. It's very nice. I guess that's why people like listening to him. Jordan Peterson. It depends on how you define God. I'm doing the same thing over and over again because I have that quote of him in mind, and I find it very funny how it sounds. Frostbite said science hasn't disproved Christianity. Well, science is not there to disprove anything. So yeah, you could talk about how a specific religion and its specific truth claims agree with science, with our scientific knowledge, and how they disagree. That's a different matter, of course. Okay. Logical believing in flat Earth carried by a whale called Nun. Oh yeah, you're talking about the Quran? Yeah. Okay, let's see. Rajiv Vuno May made a super chat of $20 and said, can you talk about the sun not setting by the Arctic, which affects fasting for Ramadan? Muhammad lived near the equator, so he didn't know the sun doesn't set near the Arctic. A big flaw in Islam. I did actually talk about this in a video that I made, I believe, 2 years ago, around the time of Ramadan, in which you can see it on the thumbnail if you look for my Ramadan videos, that there's the sun going down, and I'm implying that you'll basically die if you try to follow the Quran's literal instructions and you live north of the Arctic Circle. But yeah, I did make a video about that. It's a funny topic. Sojkovic made a super chat of 200 Czech kronas and said, what about the early history of Islam? Better than Game of Thrones. As somebody who has never watched Game of Thrones, I know I will be attacked for this. I don't really have much to say about it. I tried to watch Game of Thrones, like the first 2 episodes or 3 episodes. I just couldn't get used. I tried it twice, and I was like, this is not going anywhere. No, I love history stuff, throne fights, strategy, wars stuff, but I think it's the fantasy aspect of Game of Thrones that kind of makes it uninteresting to me. I love watching history series and history movies, but I don't like it when fantasy comes in. I don't know. Michael David Dixon made a super chat and said of $2.99 and said, can you do a video about Muhammad's blatant racism? I could address it. I'm thinking of making a video response to a certain video that I saw online, which says which asserts that Muhammad was the first anti-racist, and I want to make a video response to that. So that goes into that direction. And finally, someone named Mohammed Hijab made a super chat of $2 Canadian and said, your wife dreams of our beloved prophet's fellas. Come on. Did somebody really make this comment here just to name themselves that and make this comment, just to make a super chat with that? That's disturbing, to say the least. Disturbing. That's probably something Mohammed Hijab would actually say, to be very honest. Okay, I will be leaving. New person has said, Apostate Prophet, talking about your hobbies, I told they aren't your friends and you're lonely. Piss off. What are you talking about? Go to your stupid little Muslim apologists who think that I should jump off a building because I'm an atheist, which means that there is nothing wrong with doing anything. So that means I should just jump off a building because what is wrong with suicide according to my atheism? That's the intellectual level of your Muslim apologists. What are you doing here? You're supposed to follow and listen to them. You're supposed to be stupid. Saint Miles said AP likes reality. Very cool. I do. I'm not very much into fantasy shows and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I will leave soon now. Opel Ian made a super chat of 100 Swedish krona. If I ever read something wrong, I want you to don't kill me. Hi from Sweden. Heart. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I could have just read that and then gone on with my commentary. Okay, I'm gonna leave. Fadi Emil said play Cyberpunk 2077. I will when it comes out. I do play PlayStation at home, and I haven't been able to buy a PlayStation 5. Yeah. Nowadays, I feel I play PlayStation at home, and I put our newborn baby on my lap, and then I play PlayStation while I'm doing that. Yeah, I take care of both things at the same time. That's what I do. Okay, I will leave. I will leave. Mansour said AP Boomer. Yusha Zaidi said bye, have a nice day. Gallard said so many Swedes here. That's good. St. Miles said AP has more of a life than Mohammed. Nutty said love you AP. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Poseidon said get rid of this keyboard jihadi new personal. I just did. I hit him. He's probably still making comments, but he's not aware that his comments don't appear anymore. So that's funny for him. No, funny for us, not for him. Mike Oxmall said, "Are you a Pastafarian?" No, I'm a Raelian. I'm a Raelian. Raelian. That's a new religion, a cult that has existed for a few decades, who believe in this guy called Rael, who apparently was beamed up into a spaceship and communicated with these gods who are the creators of humanity. And he bases that whole thought on Abrahamic religion, and he said that those people are known as the Elohim, and that they sent different prophets, but humanity misunderstood their message, and then started making up these religions. But that these Elohim, who are our gods, who created us in advanced scientific labs, just want us to find peace and to stop making wars, and they want us to have a lot of sex. And then when we have peace, then they will come to visit us, they will land, and they will share their whole advanced science with us. It's and there are actually people who believe in that stuff. So it really makes you think, no wonder Islam has believers. Okay. I'm going to leave. So I'm going to leave. I will be here forever if I look at these comments. I will make a live stream just to hang out at a different time. Have a fantastic day, everybody. I will be back with a different reaction to a conversion story. Thanks for joining. Have a fantastic day. See you again. And as always, did I forget to say something? No, stay away from Islam.